Another thing I think I forgot to mention about last night. Um, we knocked a tree down. um, we have reason to believe that it had something to do with Catherine, Jarrett, and that other woman whose name escapes me at the moment. That unnamed woman at the moment. Apparently had the urge to go outside and sit in the hammock looking at it. And in the meantime, Catherine was having nightmares and Jarrett was in absolute chaos. And suddenly we hear a mango drop. And a couple minutes later, a few more drop, and more, and more, and more, and more. Turned out, it wasn't mangoes dropping. It was roots cracking. All of a sudden, we hear this giant crack and a crash. And this giant old dead tree fell. And if it had fallen the opposite direction, it would have landed on the Maloka. It landed in the exact spot where it needed to be in order to stay completely out of the way. Otherwise, we probably would have had to cut it up and move it. That, or it could have crushed the Maloka. But, I mean, you can say it was pure coincidence, but all of us swear to God that that tree did a fair amount of purging for us in doing what it did. Immediately after it dropped, Jarrett's chaos stopped. Catherine's nightmares ceased, and apparently that other woman's solar plexus chakra cleared. I'm pretty sure it did something for me too, although I'm not sure what. Further analysis of what happened last night. I talked to Gary, and he said that he and a bunch of light workers, like not human light workers, but entities, were working on me for part of the night, and they came across this what looked like a big bronze shield, with a couple of big bars across it, that were pegged with four big metal pegs for each of them. And behind the shield, he said, although it looked really firm and sturdy, he could tell that behind the shield was flesh, skin, and So when he went and tried to touch it, I apparently started moaning and freaking out. And so he backed off, and for the next like 10 minutes, Gary and these light workers apparently tried to purge or dispel this shield, but weren't able to do it. It was one of the things apparently that I was having a lot of trouble with. And finally they gave up. The light workers told Gary that if I was to break that barrier, I would have to drink black ayahuasca. The most powerful ayahuasca there is. It's very risky. You do not want to do it unsupervised. So I'll have to wait until I come back here at some point. But I do intend on doing so, assuming I'm still in this dimension when that time comes. Or, well, maybe I'll just jump up one, and then have to work on getting to the next. Anyway, yeah, those were some of the highlights of last night. Well, not exactly highlights, but interesting stories. At another point, I went back to the back room, and Gary was sitting there. Well, actually, I went to the back room and went to the bathroom. And while I was in the bathroom, Gary came back and sat down and started eating raisins and peanuts. And I came out of the bathroom and came and sat down in front of him and just sat there watching him eat his munchies, as he called them. And that was rather peaceful. Sat there for about 5 minutes, I think. And then I went back to work. And now I'm rather bored. Okay.